Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping Bottom River. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah, yeah. We coming, yeah. We better be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we better be coming. Yeah, you are coming, yeah. We coming. We better be coming. When the year is been checking you again, guys, we coming. We better be coming. They are not so we coming. Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping Bottom River. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah, yeah. We coming, yeah. We better be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we better be coming. Yeah, you are coming, yeah. We coming. We better be coming. When the year is been checking you again, guys,
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me say welcome again to another edition of the program, The Bottom Line. And I'm sorry for the glitches. I don't know, it's all because of the internet probably, or because of the weather, I don't know. But let me say welcome to this very special edition of The Bottom Line. My name is Linford Goa, and I'm awaiting the arrival of my co-hosts, Andre Jallo and Paul Chirople. Today, we will be looking at the just ended two-day event of the ANC hosting Mr. Alexander B. Cummings in the city of Hanover in Germany by Europeans, the Liberians living in Europe, hosting Mr. Alexander B. Cummings in Hanover, Germany. Mr. Cummings will be talking to the cross-section of Liberians that attended our program. And as usual, he will be delivering his message of unity, his message of change for Liberia. And that's what he will be doing. And we'll pay special attention to that. We're going to bring you a portion of that speech, which was very lengthy. And also, we will be, if my colleagues arrive, we will be discussing some of what we as individuals observed at that program. And so we will be coming back right after this one, but today is a special day and it's going to be very special in that it will focus mainly on the activities of Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. Welcome back. This is the Bottom Line, and my name is Linford Goa, and I'm coming to you direct from the Royal Kingdom of Norway in Scandinavia. And let me say welcome officially for those to those of you who are watching, and please help us to share this video. Let's all discuss the issue together. As you all know, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings was scheduled or has visited Liberians in Europe, and the specific importance of that visit to me is that this is the first time, to my knowledge, that I've seen a political aspirant in the presidential race in Liberia to visit Liberians that live in that part of the world, Europe. I say this against the background that since I begin knowing myself, I have not seen any political aspirant come to Europe to campaign. Normally they go to America because probably it's there we have a number of Liberians, a bulk of the people from Liberia that are in the diaspora live in Europe, in America. And so the aspirants rather believe that going to America is very important than coming to Europe, because in America they will be able to gather a greater number, a very huge number of Liberians at one point, at one time. And so it is also understandable that they do that, because you don't want to waste all that money and go somewhere where you will not have people coming to listen to what you have to say. Or be it as it may, Mr. Cummings took the bull by the horn. He decided to come to Europe to visit Liberians, to explain his platform to Liberians. And that was done upon our invitation as a group from Europe. And Mr. Cummings did honor that invitation. As you may remember, the past 2 weeks, he was in America, going from state to state, having town hall meetings and, and political rallies. And then he ended up in Europe. And that was last weekend from July the 8th, which was on Friday, to the 9th, which was on Saturday. And so Mr. Cummings was able to meet with a cross-section of Liberians, like I said, not only ANC supporters and sympathizers, because I was personally at the program. Mr. Cummings met with Liberians from all walks of life, from all political backgrounds. In the hall, there were seditions. The video is lengthy. Today, we probably may not bring you, for sure, we will not bring you the question and answer section of that particular event, where you would have heard for yourself seditions asking Mr. Cummings questions. So there were seditions, there were probably people from other parties, because some people did not have the chance to ask questions, to introduce themselves and say, I'm from XYZ party. But specifically, there were 2 guys who asked questions, and they came from the CDC. And there were also, in fact, 3 guys. And there was also another one who didn't ask questions, but he gave Mr. Cummings some sort of quote-unquote wise word, And so it was a cross-section of Liberians. It wasn't only sympathizers of the ANC or supporters of Mr. Cummings. And so the meeting was, first, let me give you how everything started. The meeting was arranged, or the trip to Europe was arranged by the ANC Global Europe. And we've been working on that for a couple of months, and Mr. Cummings consented, and he decided to come. And so the date was the 8th and 9th of July. And, Liberians from all over, people came from Ireland, people came from Sweden, from here, Norway, from England, from Holland, from Belgium, and all over Germany. I mean, I was pretty much impressed that we have so much people from Liberia that live in Germany alone. And so we all converged on the city of Hanover. And Mr. Cummings did arrive actually on Thursday evening, and we had a meet and greet, and that was the first time that I personally saw Mr. Cummings, and we shook hands, we sat together, we talked, we ate together, we drank some hot soup, and everything just happened together that evening, and we all retired for the next day. And then Saturday, around 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, we all converged on a football field where a football match was held uh, between two groups of Liberians. The other group, Mile from the CDC camp and other political parties, and then the other group were supporters of the ANC, but they were all Liberians, though. I mean, this is the sweetest part of it. We were all Liberians. And then we play a match, and trust me, Mr. Cummings took a kickoff, right? But again, imagine some of all the old booms are dressed with my football boots. But I came just before the game started. But when I entered the pitch or the perimeter, of the field, because it's situated between a little forest. And the moment I enter, I was jogging coming, man, like a player. But the moment I enter, and then I saw the kind of players, the way the boys were pushing the ball around, I said, no. This was some 17, 18 years back when I was playing like this, when I was playing for my country team here in Norway. And that was 17, 18 years back. So I don't think I can make it. And so I just went back into my shell and I stood and cheered the boys. I mean, they play real good football. And I don't know why the Lone Star, I'm just diverting a little bit. I don't know why the Lone Star can capitalize on some of these boys. I mean, the boys play impressive football, like they're playing for some first division teams there. No, they stay making their ways. But I mean, the boys play. And I mean, able body healthy, young looking guys that could boost the national team of Liberia. And these boys, they played from both sides. The score line was 3-3. And I must admit, the guys from the CDC side, or from the I don't know how do I call them. Yeah, from the other political party side, they were always scoring, and the ANC were always coming back to redeem. But the game was good, and Mr. Cummings watched that game to the end. And after that, he spoke to all of the people, all the boys that played on both sides. In fact, they were, one thing again, I must admit, I'm sorry, my colleague Paul is not here, so I could ask him his observation on the field. But one thing I must admit right here is that all the boys that played on the field, they were not like this, you from CDC, we from ANC, and so no, nothing like that. In fact, there were not even an instance where maybe somebody from the other team was played a foul, and then the guy, the referee blew, and then the other guy protested. No, everything went smoothly. It was. I mean, I was really, really much impressed. This for me, that part of the program was one of the best parts. Okay, that the guys played on a very friendly atmosphere. The guys they showed good sportsmanship. They weren't like, okay, we from ANC and you from there. And because what I have personally thought from the start is that when people sit on the internet and they make all this noise about who we from ANC, we from Unity Party, we from this, we from that. No, I mean, the first and foremost thing is that we are all Liberians. And Mr. Cummings did say that to the guys, that we are all Liberians. Your tribe, your religion were not selected by you. You were born into that. And where were you born? You were born in Liberia, okay? So you were not born in Basel country. You were not born in Mano country. You were not born in Pele country. You were born in a country called Liberia that contains all of these tribes. And so the boys exhibited very good sportsmanship from both sides. And when the game ended, Mr. Cummings gathered the boys around him and he talked to them, and they were very much happy. And then everybody went home to refresh. And then came the evening session, which was a fundraising event. And again, I couldn't believe the number of Liberians that I saw. I mean, everybody talked to. I'm from Germany. I'm from England. I'm from Ireland, I'm from Sweden, I'm from Norway, I'm from Holland, so Liberians came in their numbers, and the event was well attended. Okay, and the fundraiser went on. But the sad part of it for me that I would say is that I had to leave because I had like 19 hours to drive back home. I didn't fly on that trip. I drove to go just to enjoy the scenery, the beautiful scenery, and the different experiences. And so I had to leave by 12 o'clock in the night when the program was already going on. At the time, Mr. Cummings has already retired too because he was there until around 12 o'clock, and he left. And I decided to also leave. And, as a matter of fact, I traveled with my family, so I had to load my family, my boys, on the car. And we started to leave. We left around 8 minutes after 1 o'clock in the night from Hanover. And we were driving all night long. I mean, with different kind of experiences. I was driving all night long. And you wouldn't imagine what was happening. A 19 hours trip. Where we would miss our route, and then we got to swing around for another hour to get back on route. And but we managed to reach home because I had to work on Monday yesterday. So we reached home 11 o'clock in the night. On Sunday night, but it was actually not. It was 19 hours of driving, but 4 hours of again getting on the boat to cross from Denmark to Norway. But all in all, I don't want to bore you down with that part of the story. It was all sweet, but the most important part of the event was that Mr. Cummings again spoke to the Liberians that attended this program. I mean, the number was good, and the atmosphere was peaceful. Up to the time I left at 12 o'clock, there was no confusion that I can. In fact, the funny thing was, I still want somebody to correct me, right? Whether the boys were actually from the CDC or because the thing is, I'm not doubting though, but I'm just like making fun because when they were playing the Cummings music, you can't see the boys were dancing, everybody, hey, le pape, and so. It was like a very peaceful atmosphere. It was something that we all admired, and I must give my special thanks and appreciation to the Germany group because they hosted. Even though we all Europeans, this was our program, but Germany was the host country, and so they did exceptionally well, beyond the expectations that some of us had, owing to the fact that. Liberia itself is divided along political lines, but to be able to bring that number of Liberians together and that we could all have a successful program, there was no confusion, nobody, I was there, even during the time of the food, it was free service, you can serve yourself. So everybody was eating, going 2-3 rounds, and I didn't have the opportunity to go 2 rounds, so I went 1 round. But my one round was well served. But the point here is that Mr. Cummings was able to meet with a cross section of Liberians, and he did talk to them. So listen to what Mr. Cummings said.
The best predictor of future behavior or future performance is past behavior and past performance. So if you were good in the past, nurse, teacher, carpenter, electrician, good prediction, you'll be good in the future. If your behavior was good, if you had integrity, if you didn't steal in the past, chances are you're not stealing in the future. So the best predictor of future behavior, future performance is past behavior. That's why when you go for a job, they'll ask you for your past experience. They'll ask you for your resume so they can see what you did in the past. The other thing I like to say is that Liberia is too rich a country for us to be so poor as a people. Liberia is too rich as a country for us to be so poor as a people. Liberia has iron ore. Liberia has gold, diamond, rubber. Apparently we have bauxite. We have 350 kilometers of beaches, and yet our people, our country is poor. Liberia is too rich for us to be so poor. And then the last thing I will say, and then I will speak to these things quickly, is that we have had a country And we still do today, where we focus on our differences and we will focus on what we have in common. We separate ourselves. So I say to Liberians, I remind us, because you all know this, you do not pick the tribe you're born into. It's not your choice. You do not pick, you don't decide where you're born. Not your choice. You don't decide the religion you're born into. You don't make that decision. What are you born, Christian, Muslim? You don't make that decision. You don't decide whether you're a man or a woman. Your gender, you don't decide that. And you don't decide when you're born, whether you're old or young. So none of these things should give you an advantage or a disadvantage over somebody else. Because it's not a choice. Because you go like Dio, Mademo, Greco, Vi, it shouldn't matter because you didn't choose to be. It's providence, it's God. Because you're Christian or Muslim, you didn't choose to be born into that religion. So why should you be advantaged or disadvantaged because you're Muslim? Shouldn't be, right? And yet in our country, we find all kinds of reasons to separate ourselves. Doesn't make any sense. We need a Liberia where it should depend on what you do as an individual that should determine whether you succeed or not. The history of our country, the common people used to keep the country for themselves. Then when Doe became president, it was mostly crown people. Now in the United Nation, for the most part, you don't participate. We need a country that everybody can participate. That'll be based on what you do, your behavior, your performance, your skills. And it should have nothing to do with anything else. That's the kind of Liberia we need to. And on top of it, we have an inclusive country that we will not move forward. Unless we start to take Liberia first. Liberia first. The ANC motto is Liberia first. The ANC will say the ANC is where everybody is somebody. You know, I joined the ANC. I didn't start the ANC. Some people don't know that. And it was because of the philosophy of the ANC. By the way, the ANC was started by former seditions. So I think they went to a convention in Bombay in 2012, I think it was, or whenever it was. I should know the exact date. There was some violence and some stuff happened, and they came and formed the ANC. And they developed these philosophies. ANC is where everybody is somebody. The ANC is where we put Liberia first. The ANC, we believe we should develop Liberia from what we call the bottom up. We have tried to develop Liberia from the top down, from the beginning of the history of Liberia, where everything is centralized in Monrovia. We will change that. We will decentralize the country. We have to, because it hasn't worked. Liberia will be 175 years old on July 26th. The oldest republic in Africa, and we are amongst the poorest countries in the world. It's a fact, whether you like it or not. It's a sad fact. But after 175 years, we're among the poorest, and yet we want to keep doing the same thing. Everybody wants to come in government to play big shot. Everybody wants to come to chop, to steal. Then when you talk, say when you steal and say, well, the police do it before. So because they stole before, we should keep stealing? How will the country change? Keep doing the same thing and expect different results. So we gotta change the system. We gotta change how we think about Liberia. I tell people, if you're supporting me, and I say to all the ANC people here, if you're supporting me because you want a chance to come and play big shot or to chop like purple money, I'm not the guy. Don't support me. This is about leadership. Public service is about service. You are there to serve the Liberian people. The government, people in the government, they get paid, but they're not doing it for free. The president gets paid, the ministers get paid, the legislators get paid. They get to serve, but we got a wrong construct. Think about it the wrong way. These are all the things we have to change if we're going to change Liberia. We got to change how we organize the government. The government has been organized the same way for 175 years. And yet we won't keep doing the same thing, and then somehow we think Liberia will magically change. It will not change. We got to change the construct of everything to do in our country. We got to turn it upside down. If we're not prepared to do that, we'll just keep talking. And we could have talking right as Liberians, we can talk. Liberia will not change because we talk it. Liberia will not change because we wish it to change. Liberia will change because we do the work. We make the sacrifice. And we change the way things have been done in the past. So we want leadership to serve our country, to serve our people, and to change the system. There are a few thousand people that benefit from the system the way it is today. And those people are fighting us because they know we will change the system so that every Liberian can benefit. We don't guarantee you the outcome, we guarantee every Liberian the opportunity. Whether you Gio, Kola, Brown, Madingo, Christian, Muslim, man, woman, young, old, we guarantee you the same opportunity. Now, what you do with the opportunity, that one up to you. You make that decision. You make that choice. I talk about the fact that we eat from this bowl of rice. We got some Nima people here, so maybe they eat GB, or lots of people eat fufu or dumbo. But we all eat from that bowl of rice. Every Liberian has to have a right to put a hand in the bowl of rice. Don't matter where you're from, who you are. Everybody can put a hand in the bowl of rice. That's the country we need. The only two things that should stop you from eating that bowl of rice is you gotta follow the rules. You gotta follow the law. You don't follow the law, we're not eating the rice. But that's a decision you make.
Okay. You heard it from Mr. Cummins' mouth. He spoke to Liberians, like I said, in Germany, and there were people from different political backgrounds. Now, he assured them, he said, we want a Liberia that is compared to a bowl of rice. You know, those of us that come from the traditional setting, you know exactly what we mean. You know, our old man used to cook their food. They would dish it up. Maybe when they move the then the remaining, they put it in a big bowl, in a big pan. And all the children will now wash our hands, sometimes halfway. Then we sit down. Everybody start eating. So there is no segregation. They will not tell you, say, because you small boy, don't eat yet, or because you older than 1 year, don't eat yet. No, all equal. I mean, eating. We have people who were older than, or who were also older than us, but what? We all ate in that same bowl of rice. So it depends on the size of your hand. The one your hand you want to take, you take it, you put in your mouth. Nobody will say, Peter, you small way. Let me tell you one small one, put in your mouth. No. And you know, some people are very clever with that hand when they lower it, man. And I know how all that thing are going to go more. You know, so Liberia, according to Mr. Cummins, they wanted to be like this bowl of rice. The opportunity will be awarded or available to you, or will be guaranteed to you. What you do with that opportunity is up to you. How you use your opportunity is up to you, but you must have the opportunity that you do not have now. Because a lot of people will say, oh, you know, we don't have the opportunity in this country, we don't have the chance, our government is not doing anything, which is right, of course, okay, which is true. And so Mr. Kumi is saying that what we'll do is we'll guarantee you the opportunity, we'll give you that opportunity that is absent as of today, that the present government cannot give you. And so once you have that opportunity, it's not left with you. You take it, you put it in the dumper, you take it, you put it on the shelf, you put it in your suitcase and lock it up. Anything you do it our business, but at least what you got an opportunity. And let me go back a little bit in time. Andre, do you hear me well? Yeah, I'm hearing you, but very thin, very faintly. So work on your stuff. So, like I was saying, let me take you back in time. Uh, in one of Charles Taylor's speeches, he's a very good speaker, extemporaneously when he reads. I don't enjoy him talking when he reads, but when he's talking extemporaneously, he flows. And in one of his speeches, I still remember he gave this example. He said, opportunity is a bald-headed old man, like a bald-headed old man. And the old man, I mean, his bald head is so slippery like glass. So he got out one string of hair, long, hanging there. No, one string of hair. And in everyone's life, as you are born to your death, from your day, the day of your birth to the day of your death, opportunity will visit you at least once. At least once. But every morning when opportunity wakes up, he will shower, wash that boy hair, and that one string of hair. Then he will grease it well. That one string of hair, long, you're not sure it's long, but you'll grease it well that when you grab it, it can slip from your hand. Then he will say, well, yesterday I visited Peter, so today I think I got to visit Mary. So opportunity will visit everybody at one point in time in your life. So when opportunity visits you, it's left with you to grab him by that one string of hair and tie and say, oh man, you're not going anywhere. Opportunity, I'll get you, you will stay with me. Or it's left with you to sit down and play with him and say, oh, hey, look at opportunity, look at your one string of hair. And then he slip away. And when he slips away, he's not coming back to you. Well, I mean, you don't know the number of people on earth. People say, well, some years ago they did a world census. They said, well, I know 6 billion. I don't know how many billion now, because a lot of people been dying, a lot of people been born. Life has improved, medical facilities have improved. So a lot of people even live more than they die, during those days. So God made all these people, and not only human beings, but God made all the creations, the rivers, the oceans, all these things on earth, all the small grass, the ants, the sand on the beach. God knows it no more. All these things. So you're not so important to God. You are important, but not that God waste the time on you all the time to be helping you. So He will send opportunity to you. He said, go visit Peter. Out of 5 million people in Liberia, God said, go visit Peter Paul today. And you, Peter Paul, opportunity come to you. You say, now playing with him, you grab him by that hair. The only thing you have to tell is the story that, oh, I had an opportunity before. And that's why a lot of people, a lot of us in Liberia, will always say, yeah, man, I had an opportunity. But when you deal with the opportunity, when he came to you got to grab him by that hair and let him stay with you. So that's why Mr. Cummings is saying that the new Liberia that he envisages is that this Liberia, every citizen will have some kind of opportunity. The opportunity cannot be described. What kind of opportunity you have. It also depends on you, how you prepare yourself for the opportunity that will come. Okay, and if you then go to school, I mean, I'm not looking down on our brothers and sisters that did not have what again we call the opportunity to go to school. You see, so if you didn't go to school by some bad chance or by some mistake or by you not having what we call the opportunity, I'm not looking down on you. But what I'm trying to say is that, say, Mr. Cummings wins the elections, a lot of communists coming, they are employing people based on their skills, and you do not have anything. You don't know anything, probably because according to you, or what we say, we did not have that opportunity to go to school. So you did not have what we call the opportunity. So then, try to hire people. If companies are hiring people, you don't expect magic to occur in your life at a particular moment, okay? Because you missed the opportunity, probably by chance or by occasion, or you just decided not to make use of that opportunity. So then your opportunity will not be equivalent to the opportunity that another person who went to school, who is well learned, who got master's degree up to maybe PhD or 2-3 masters, your opportunity, if you step in third grade, your opportunity will not be a high school graduate. And the high school graduate who did not go to college, his opportunity will not be equivalent to that of the college student. And the college student who got his first undergraduate degree, cannot expect that he and a PhD holder or a master's holder will have the same opportunity, but at least everybody will have an opportunity. So if you were just a third grade dropout, your opportunity, I think, would be like, okay, I can go into business, I can, take some loan, or I can start to go back to school if you are still a school going age person. So the opportunity will vary. You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, Linford.
Okay, now I hear you very, very well. And so let's say welcome to you. Sorry that you came late. I've already played the Mr. Cummings video where you were talking to the Liberians in Germany.
Germany.
Sorry that we didn't see you. We understand because of your tight schedule and all this kind of thing. It was difficult. We understand very, very well. But we believe you are with us in spirit. But I'm just trying to,
and you people did an excellent job. Excellent job. Well done, guys.
Yeah,
well done to the entire team. Yeah.
Thank you. And so I guess you were following the program. What are some of the things that you pick up from there?
I wasn't really following the program because, as you know, a single mother, I have to look at the children, although it's vacation, but I have to work and the kids have to go to the daycare. So it's not easy. Come from work, got to pick up the kid, fix. So I wasn't really following.
Okay.
Yeah.
But all in all, just to keep you up to date, the program was good and people attended from everywhere and we had a good time.
Yeah, I watched the program. Yeah. That's
but
nice.
One of the good things that came from that program was that the people that went there were not only sedition or ANC supporters. Seditions were there.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, and they were giving special opportunity to ask questions. And I'm sorry that we cannot bring the question and answer now. But one of the or two of the questions that I still remember. One of them was from one sedition who asked Mr. Cummings, with the present status of the CPP, what are you doing to see if the CPP can come back together? And the question from this sedition was a bit confusing to me personally because he is not in opposition. So why is he concerned about the CPP coming back together? As if to say, if the CPP comes together and becomes stronger, he will benefit, or the CDC will benefit. But Mr. Cummings told him, well, two parties left the CPP. The CPP is still alive, and the CPP is going to govern us. We're going to bring on board new parties, people, other political parties, and individuals will come on board, and the CPP is still strong and alive. And I could see this guy nodding his head. He was like, I don't know whether he was in agreement or he felt that his question was answered. And the other sedition asked Mr. Cummings, what was his question? I think his question was about how he would tackle corruption and stuff like that. And Mr. Cummings again told him that we have to punish people who are corrupt, people who will be caught. It's not going to be like a witch hunt. Nobody's going to go after anybody, but there will be investigations launched. We have integrity up institutions in Liberia, and those institutions will be revamped. They will be beefed up with credible people of credible records.
Yeah,
and these are the people who will go after corruption. And if
corruption,
anybody, if
there's a saying: "He who come with equity must come with clean hands."
Clean hands. So if fingers are pointed at you, you have to make sure that those fingers that are pointed at you are real and they are genuine, and nobody's going to wish on anybody. So I think, I don't know, next week I might bring on the question and answer section of the whole program, and then the other highlight for me was the outdoor activity, which are the football game, and I mean everybody was there. Small babies were there, babies, and Yeah, they had the two teams, one from CDC, or the other party members, people who are not members of the ANC or sympathizers. They formed
Mm-hmm.
different team, and the ANC had its team. And Mr. Cummings took the kick off, and they played the game very well. I mean, they played well, and there was no confusion. Nobody said, even down to the program, when the program was going on, nobody like, I'm from CDC or from, no, everybody was enjoying and things were good.
Yeah.
The reason I'm saying this is that we are Liberians, and everything that we're doing here is in the interest of Liberia, not individual
The
interest, or
interest
else
of
somehow would not be
Liberia.
wasting our time.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Because I mean, you got what you got, you can get what you want, I can get what I want, okay. Or other people can say, get what they want, even though they live in Liberia. But because of Liberia, we do all of these things. We go through all of this. And so all the people that attended the program, they really exhibited that love for the country, that the king not need to see Mr. Cummings, but the king to grace the
The
ANC's program.
occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was sufficient.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to come in.
Yeah. Regarding what you just said, this is really was a nice program. And I'm sorry that I missed the program, but yeah, the
There is still a
reason
second
why,
chance.
yeah, the reason why Sedition were asking whether the CPP will still hold, because we all know that the CPP was a very strong force until the so-called Bolniki men decided to destabilize the CPP for his own selfish interest. It is sad that those within the CPP, some greedy individual, did not know how strong the CPP was, and they allowed the CPP to be destroyed because of their own greed. So yeah, and sedition were really threatened about the existence of that CPP. It's just a sad situation, but yeah, men dropping,
Men
men
moving.
coming on board, men
Men
moving.
dropping, men
So
moving.
we will still find a strong force to make the CPP strong again and make the Liberian people to believe that yes, indeed, this is what the CPP was formed for, and we are here to deliver the people of Liberia. So I hope those who are leaders within the CPP will get this message in a rightful way, and try to put things together, and let's get ready for 2023. Yeah, the ball must keep rolling, and we must save our country, because our country is really in mess, in a serious mess, and we need to deliver our country. And that can only be done by one person, who is Alexander B. Cummings. Period to that.
Okay. Um let's look at some other issues that are trending in Liberia. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we
Yes.
understand that uh, just recently an EPS officer,
Hmm.
uh, according to what he said, mistakenly discharged his
Mistakenly.
weapon. Yeah, and I
Hmm.
think there was some casualty. And
Yep.
yeah, and again, just last night, I was reading somewhere on the internet this afternoon
Hmm.
where
Hmm.
another EPS officer opened fired, whether mistakenly or intentionally, at an entertainment center. I think that's the entertainment center that belongs to Molba Yowa, is the
Yes.
Renaissance. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was thinking, I don't know, why do these guys carry weapons? I don't know whether this guy was on duty, because if the executive protection services, as I
Mm-hmm.
understand they are called, should be protecting the president
Mm-hmm.
and the president premises.
Mm-hmm.
They should be. I don't know whether this group actually replaces what we used to call SSS, Special Security Service, at the
Yes,
time.
that's the same security you knew
Mhm. My
before, but
uncle, my late uncle, worked
mm-hmm.
in that particular organization for several years when it was SSS. And
Mm.
I don't remember my uncle bringing gun loaded with shots at home. No. I don't remember my uncle going around and firing in entertainment centers, no, or in open places, no, because they were not even allowed to carry their weapons after work. You cannot. So I don't know whether things have changed in Liberia, where one EPS officer would be. Because I remember, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, another EPS officer shot one girl. They were coming from the club or someone to pull. Something happened, and I know they say his girlfriend, and then he fired, and this girl died. Okay, so the EPS officers are always
That
involved in
was, I
something.
think it was during Madam Salif regime. He was the director. I think that was the first director that she had, and yeah, he did that, and he was immediately
Yeah,
dismissed.
okay. Anyway, what I was
Yeah.
telling we asked time, but the point here is these guys, I don't know the scope of their operations, but from what I think it should be is that
Mm-hmm.
they should guide the president and
Mm-hmm.
all VIPs around the president. So if
Mm-hmm.
the president is at home, if you are not on duty, you are not supposed to be there carrying guns. The people who will be guarding the president because they work on shift, right? So the people who
Mm-hmm.
will be guarding the president at his house will be there, and all other VIPs that are
Mm-hmm.
entitled to that special security protection will be
Mm-hmm.
assigned to those people at home. So
Mm-hmm.
if the president is not at a nightclub, why would an SS man or what you call an EPS man carry a weapon there? What is he doing with the weapon at a nightclub? I don't understand. So the lawlessness in Liberia has grown wings, it's flying
Mm-hmm.
all over the place, and nobody seems to be taking. And the president must be careful because these guys who they allow to carry the loaded guns, you don't know.
Yeah.
Anything happen to any of them anytime.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you mistakenly shoot at the president and say, "Oh, I mistake."
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, this is. I mean, I'm not threatening, but this is serious
It's
because you can't
alarming.
have
Yeah.
these guys just carrying
Yeah.
guns around. If the man
Mm-hmm.
is not on duty, let the man not carry gun. Those of them that are not on duty, let their guns stay there, and the people that are on duty use those guns. Let the
Mm-hmm.
moment a man leaves job, he's ordinary. When I leave job and come to my home, I'm employed though, but at home I'm not working. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so why would I be performing the work I do at home in my house unless I have home office? Okay, so the thing here is you can't have these guys carrying loaded guns in public places. When they shoot and kill somebody, they say, "Oh, that mistake." No, why they don't shoot and why they don't make mistakes and shoot themselves, but they will always make mistakes and shoot other people. Hmm. Or you are, I
What
think you are muted, Andre. I don't
Yeah,
know.
what I know for sure is that people who are working as an EPS or executive security, these are people that are well trained. It's not now like we are government. This is a thing that we talk about the government. The government is incompetent. They are incompetent in every aspect of their leadership, even in security, because an executive protection officer should be well trained. And if you are well trained and disciplined, you will know that that pistol that is assigned to you is for a purpose, not to be used in any public place. They also train them to have self-control, because if you are carrying on a pistol, you are well trained in terms of controlling your temper, and how to handle yourself when there is incident of provocation. So I don't know whether these EPS who are now serving the leadership of um, we are, whether they were trained, but during the leadership of Madam Salif, which of course I know, all of the EPS officers were well trained. They were trained by Americans. They sent them America to be trained because that job is very, very much important, and because they carry their weapon every time, Linfo, even at home, when they are done with their job, they carry their weapon with them. Because why? They are presidential securities, they are presidential bodyguards. They have their weapon with them. This is why they train them. That weapon that you have is not to be used at home or anywhere. You have to learn to have a self control. If you are at home or you are provoked in any situation, you have to control yourself. The only way you can use your weapon when there is a threat on the president or there is a threat on your life that you have to defend yourself, then you can use your weapon. But nothing at the sort, you should have self-control.
Yeah, but
So so,
my
so we are now the prerequisite. We all know the prerequisite of having a job, except you know how to sing, I will say, and then they give you a job. So you just take a police officer and make him an EPS officer without proper training, without undergoing, the proper procedure to know how to carry that arm with you, to know how
but
to
I think
control
the
yourself.
police too, the police are trained too. The
The
problem here
police
is
are
that most
trained,
of
but
it,
that is a different level. You can be a security, but when it comes to serving the president, you have to go through proper training because you carry that arm with you everywhere, Linfo. The arm is with you. You register the arm at the office, the amount of bullet that is inside, they have to know, they register everything so that if anything happen, if someone go behind you and use your arm and kill someone out there, they will know where was this arm used, who have this arm and the bullet and everything. So yeah, during President Salif regime, I know that was what some of the things, but this regime is totally incompetent. So the president himself cannot even go since he took office. He have never visited the United States. So I don't know whether that agreement is still in place that his executive protection officers will have training by the Americans. So yeah, I don't know.
yeah, but my thing here is what I was thinking. Yeah,
Mhm.
I understood exactly what you said about the EPS officers carrying the arms around.
Mhm.
But again, let me come back to play the role of the novice here. I don't know about
Mhm.
presidential protection, like the EPS or what we used to call the SSS. But like I said, my uncle worked in that
Mhm.
area for many years, and I lived with this uncle partially, and I didn't see uncle bringing weapons home. Probably he had it, but he hid it from us. But I don't know, or it
Mhm.
was difficult to ever hear during my days growing up in the Tower area. It was difficult for me to hear that one EPS man shot somebody somewhere because of mistake. Okay, one SS man, this guy was well respected. I mean, every time we saw an SSS soldier, I mean, or security man,
Mhm.
the first thing that came to us was the president might be around.
Yeah.
It was difficult to see these guys, because you saw
Mhm.
them on the convoy when the president is going somewhere, when the
Yeah.
president is visiting somewhere, you see them around at the time, and then that's it. After that, they go home. Or the next time you might see one of them is on the taxi. He didn't have a car. Then my uncle didn't have a car. He didn't live far from the executive mansion, though. He lived right on Kent Road, right to SDA area there. So he will most
Mhm.
of the time take taxi to go. So that's when you will
Mhm.
see him and the guys were well dressed.
Yeah.
That light blue top and that deep blue button, that navy
Mhm.
blue button. And when you see them, you know that yeah, these are guys that are important people. You don't just see them. So what would an EPS may be doing at a nightclub with his gun?
No,
The president is not at the
that
nightclub.
is a social, that's what I'm saying. That is a social joint. They are not supposed to carry weapon with at a social place. But
No.
where an EPS man goes to work in the morning, come back, when they are coming home, they take their weapon with them. That I know for sure. Because
So who will be protecting at home?
yes, I had someone who was working.
Yeah, but no, I agree with you. I'm not denying that. But the question here is probably in the structure there is something missing here. Who are the guys protecting at home?
They are not protecting anyone, but this is their weapon they carry with them. So at any time they can be called. If they are called, they cannot go directly to the office to go and collect their weapon. They come with their bulletproof jacket with them because they always wear it under their clothes. They come with their bulletproof jacket with them. They come with their weapon and come with everything home. And they make sure they keep it somewhere secure that no one will have access to it. These people are trained people. They are trained people.
No,
This is
they
what
should be
no, but
trained.
it is prohibited. It is
Actually, let's not use the word
prohibited.
they are. Let's say they should be trained
It
people. They
is
should.
But leave for here is it now. It is prohibited for them to take their pistol with them at a nightclub, except where there is a VIP or the president or vice president is at that nightclub. Then they are allowed to carry that pistol because while they are on service, they are protecting he or she or whoever. Because at any time someone wants to shoot or do something to the president, they can defend the president. They always have their bulletproof, they always have their weapon with them. But they have to know where to keep it in their house as an executive officer or police officer. They are in various sectors. They are in the police, they are with ministers, they are with, they divide them everywhere. So they have to have a place where they can keep it that is secure, that even a child in the home will never see it, because when a child see it, they think it's a toy. And if it happened, then that's how things. So they have to be well trained. But this we are government, I don't think so. I think they just make them EPS officer because they want to, or because they know how to say their slogan. Amanda, way to Joey, I start to sing and stuff like that. So it's just
Let's
sad.
look at it
It
this
is
way.
sad.
I agree, the training part, okay? So let's assume that the guys are well trained. But because of the absence of the law, no, the law is there, the presence of the law is there, but the absence of the enforcement of the law. So these guys, they will take advantage of that and say, look, I can shoot anybody. In the first day, I'm EPS man, I can shoot anybody.
No accountability.
Or I
Yeah.
can fire. Because those days, you had to fire in the air. It was difficult. I remember
there's consequence. There were consequences. But
there were consequences. Because if you fire, like you said, I think they will count the amount of bullets that you have. And so you can't just go discharging your bullet. I remember I had this cousin in the AFL, and right after and this cousin of mine, he's late anyway, this cousin of mine and Doe took training together. So they were buddies. So when Doe took over, they got, by some chance, he began, and one of the executive guy, he was not SS member, he used to be one of the soldiers that were manning the executive mansion. Okay. Then in the area where I live, we also had another SS man who was assigned there, who lived there. We were just neighbors. But the two people didn't know each other. So this my cousin, he came from out one night. I don't know, he was drunk or he was happy or something. So we had a big, long coconut tree standing over the house. We can't climb that coconut tree. We always waited for it to fall because it was so long. It was so tall, nobody could climb it, and it was lingy. So the guy that got it, took it, go in the evening, I said, remember, the moon was shining. That time the coup had just taken place, I think in 1980 or 81. So the guy opened that M1, pow, 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 pow. And all we hear, what the scene was the coconut, they falling, blah, blah, blah. So the SS man jumped outside, quick, he dressed. He came to the scene. We need to come to see that one serial man. So the SS man went to the mansion and called a group of SS people. And serial people, they came, they arrested my cousin. When they carry it, they knew that man is over. So let you go. So they report that to the office. And they asked him, he said, are you trying to piece on coconut? I don't know why he said that. I was not there, but when he came, that's the story to us. That he told the people, say, you're just trying to piece on coconut, and then the thing happened. Okay. And he mistakenly shot, and that's it. And then he came home. But the SS man, after he carried our cousin, he came back, he started talking, he was making people. Like, man, you stay in jail. What a man can disturb people shooting here. Then after 10, 20 minutes, the guy came. And then, so, but the point I'm trying to make is that those days, for you to just shoot gun in public place, even right after the coup, it was not that easy. You think, why do you have to ban firecrackers? okay, from 1980.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up to I don't know whether they didn't reinstate it, but there's no firecracker. I remember when because I grew up on the bypass, right opposite the police station, where you see that gas station right now. If you just
Yeah.
go to
Bypass.
where
Yeah.
the gas station, that place was called the Branel Yard, one Mr. Branel. Okay, that man
Mm-hmm.
used to do fireworks all the time. So every Christmas we're looking and New Year we're looking forward to that. But right after the 1980 coup, that thing stopped. So we always, we the children, and we always miss our fireworks. You see, so because the point here is that they didn't want to create a scenario where someone will be shooting gun, then we say, "Oh, the fireworks." So
Yeah.
there was no silence of weapons after the coup. But then that the people who shooting guns now are the people who supposed to be protecting the citizens and the president. It shouldn't be that way. Like I said, the president must be careful because the guys going around shooting. One day, who knows? They might have fire at his car or fire at him. The man say, I made a mistake. No, seriously, you can't tell. No, let me tell you. They say when a leopard ready to become desperate, you can start eating. You can start eating.
Yeah, so it's so unfortunate. It's so irresponsible. But yeah, Georgia is just, yeah, once it's not affecting him, you don't care. You don't care
Seriously.
for the people. The innocent people are going through a lot in that country. There's no security. There is no regulations for his securities who carry arms. They just kill people. Like, yeah, it's just a sad thing. And I
Yeah,
see the people.
we saw the war during the wartime. SS people were not just going around shooting people like that. Okay, the war is over. We've had over 15 years of peace, and you are the second
Yeah,
constitutional president elected.
president, yeah,
Yeah.
elected
So why
peaceful,
why
yeah.
will you allow your own? This is the point that really gets me worried. People
Mm-hmm.
who are doing this thing, and that is that policeman who is
Mm-hmm.
a bit far from the protection of the president, the army
Mm.
man who is way in the barrier, but
Yeah,
at your own or some private security, but your own
private
security people
security,
carrying gun,
yeah,
you're shooting all over the place, and
yeah.
shooting and casualties are happening. You know that
Killing
casualties are
innocent
happening.
people, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
sad. It's really sad.
we hope the government can do something. Let Mr.
Georgia
Rianis.
government is incompetent. George Weah should have never been a president. During the election, we said it to the Liberian people. Electing George Weah would be the worst mistake that you people have ever made. And they said no. He will do better because he come from the slum. He know what it is for someone to go to bed hungry and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, this man is unsophisticated. He is, he's not educated that much. Who does these kind of things that we are do every time? Dancing on the media when he really give out sarcastic remarks all over the place. You can hardly address the situation in the country. You can't even speak to your people because you feel inferior. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's really shameful,
Okay,
like.
I don't know, Andre, if you were able to see this video yesterday. I came across it. I tried
Mm-hmm.
to save it, but I didn't. Where some group of journalists were interviewing Prince Johnson in Lima County, just because
No,
I think
no.
he's there for this for
But
this
we need to send him to the Hague. I told you the last time. We need to take all these people who make Bele Yala, who put crocodiles in the water, and then put those damn warlords in that jail. Anybody who counts out, they go straight in that crocodile mouth.
yeah,
As a
but you
food.
really wait, let me tell you what Prince Johnson said,
Because the man just full of.
So Prince Johnson said, he told the journalists, he said, this election will be rigged. 2023 will
Oh,
be rigged.
wow. Oh,
So the
wow.
journalist asked him, so it will be rigged? He said, yeah. He said, by whom? He said, by we are. He said, we are a rig election so you can stay in power.
So let him no, it's good that he's saying it and let the international community hear it. Can I have that video so I can post it on my wall and send it to where I got to send it so that they hear it? Because it's coming from a warlord, someone who destroyed our country. And up till now, they still have that man supposed to be sent to the Hague along with Taylor, because these are the two people that really destroyed the country.
And the
it
guy and the journalist follow up the question by asking him, who will rig the election? He said, we are. He said, so while you're talking, then he said, the same thing happened in 2017. Election was rigged. So the guy said, oh, election was rigged, but why didn't talk? He said, I knew what happened, so I couldn't talk. He said,
wow.
but how you know that you were rigged in 2017? Then he said, oh, the place that I voted, you see my school, you see my students there, they came to turn out to see me. So I voted at my school. I voted, my wife voted at the same school, the two of us. Okay. And in that place, I got zero. I got zero vote. So in me, I betrayed myself and my wife betrayed me. So I mean,
Wow.
let's be frank. Prince Johnson can
Mm-hmm.
talk some of the thing, a crazy thing, but sometimes he can say things
Mm-hmm.
that people all know. Prince Johnson said in 2017, before election, that electing where will be the wrong thing. If we elect where we will not have peace.
Yeah.
We kick us around like kicking football and like I said, the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but people were looking at Prince Johnson knew that the elections was rigged 2017, but he couldn't say anything because he had a senatorial post. But this time he is
Yeah.
saying, the guy asked him whether he will run for president. He said, no, you're not run because he know that the election will be rigged. So no need to run. And then he will
Hmm.
hold on to his senatorial job. Okay, because he don't want to lose, because before he runs as president, he got to resign as senator. So he don't want to
Yeah.
lose the senatorial post and then the presidential race as well. So he would rather decide to remain a senator because he knows fully well that this election will be rigged, like 2017.
Wow.
So I think this is something that the opposition will have to pay serious attention to. Yeah, we may say that Prince Johnson is unstable,
Hmm.
he's crazy, he's black, but sometimes, in a town, even the
But
crazy man can lose.
George we are explaining, we ourselves we are planning. If he try it, just why he see that happen in Sri Lanka, where the protester went to the presidential residence and brought him out. They won. This time around, no ball naked gonna be over any protest. We gonna be over that protest. The election must be free and fair. If not, we are. Enough is enough. 6 years, there have been too many deaths, too many rape of innocent children. You try it, like bro will turn us down.
Yeah,
Free
but
and fair
the question is
election.
what? Let me just ask you.
Mm.
Yes, that is easier said than done. Oh, we
Yeah,
cannot try. He cannot rig the election. He cannot do this.
Lincoln,
But
this
here is a man.
election is
Yeah, listen
about
now,
the survival
listen.
of Liberia.
Yeah,
Nobody
but let me
joke
tell
with
you
the
one thing.
election.
Listen, Andre. Here is a
Mm.
man. The man is president of Liberia. He has the military under his command, the police, his EPS, all the paramilitary paraphernalia. They are under
That's
his
the
command.
time you will see whether we are getting military or the EPS or the police under his control.
Yeah,
We
but I can
are
see it
if
now.
we
The man
try.
went no far. The man went no far.
Let me be on record. I want to be on record and let people watch this show. This is a message going out to you. We are this coming election 2023 must be free and fair. Your so-called Solicitor General, he know what we are capable of. Must be free and fair. If it is not free and fair, we will protest until you calm down. You will kill until you kill the whole country because all the people of Liberia will come out that day. Now we
Yeah,
would send a message to the world to let the world know that we are not coward and will never be. This election is about the survival of Liberia, Linfo. No joke about it. Some of us
yeah,
will
but
put our life
the
on the line. We will
yeah, the
put
thing we got to
our
look
life
at.
on the line for the election. I'm
Yeah,
telling you something.
the thing we got to look at is this government does not care for human life. This is a government
That's what I'm
under.
saying. Let him get ready to kill the entire country because the entire country is going to come. No one man is greater than the people. No one man is greater than the people. If we are trying it, hey, born naked is no longer part of us. Who can betray us? Go and collect money that Judas. Your born naked is no more part of us. You are dealing with different people. We are generational change. You have killed enough innocent people for the past 6 years. Our brothers and sisters get missing for your human trafficking because you people are human traffickers. Liberian people made a mistake by bringing you into power. Because putting you as head of the nation, nobody is controlling you people. You have all power to do all your dubious activities at night. Your own vice president told the world in an interview that 2 o'clock morning, you're calling her to go to meeting because you're calling her to go and slaughter human life and take their part and export it to God knows where. You, your people rape innocent children, women and children. No justice for them. Three
Yeah, but
years
okay,
old.
this is against this background that I am saying, what guarantee do we have that if we are rigs the elections, as Prince Johnson has predicted, that
The
people
guarantee
will
is the
stand and do
people
anything?
because the
That,
people
because
are tired, Linford. The guarantee is
but,
the people. The people are tired.
so you think
You
the people are going to
see it?
sacrifice themselves to die?
Yes. What have never
For
you
what?
don't know? You think Liberians are not brave? Is that what you think? Do you think we are not? Let me tell you about us. We are patient. You know, we are very patient, minded people. But that doesn't mean that we are coward. We are the most bravest people that you can think about in the world. You don't know Liberian men. When Liberian men, you push them to their limit. When they reach that limit, they don't care if you kill them or not, but they will stand. You see now, let's go back to our history, the riot, and all other things that have been happening. When those dictators were in power, when the people of Liberia got tired, what happened? They rise up against them. Rise up. But the thing is, never again will we go back to war because war is never the answer. But in a modern world that we are in right now, in a modern society where democracy is the order of the day, we will protest, we will get on the street, and the international people will intervene, and we will step down. He shouldn't
Okay,
even
wait.
think about making
Let me
an
get ask you
election.
one question. Let me ask you
Mhm.
a very sensitive question. Now, protest. The government get hot water tank. The government get tear gas. The government get live
Mhm.
bullets. The government
Yeah.
get all these things. Protesters do not have it. And do you go with our chest open and then you can shoot or will not die and be falling down and shooting and falling down? No, they will not do it. What governments around the world, especially interworld countries, understand is war, is coup,
Mhm.
is the people uprising in the push. We saw it in Liberia. But
No, it's
as
not
we
gonna
all
happen
Liberians,
anymore. Never
as we
again.
Liberians are saying now, we don't want any of these
No,
things again. You think the
never
government really
again. It's
cares?
gonna happen. Mhm.
You think the government really cares? The government know that
The
civilian
government
carrying their
ready.
chest, when you, by then you kill 10
But
of them, they
but
will
look
run
for
away.
the thing is we're gonna have international observer in that country. That's what we are advocating every day. And Prince Johnson, I'm happy that he's sending out the warning out there. So we are telling the international partners that this is what the government of Liberia want to do. They want to continue to oppress our people, continue with their human rights abuses. So they want to retain power by all means, by crook or by hook anyway. This is what we are saying. We need international observer on ground during the election time so that the election can be free and fair because we do not trust RIA. There are so many by-elections that have taken place that have sent a clear message out to the international community that yes, indeed, the Liberian people made a mistake for voting him, and they have realized, and this is why they kept rejecting any of their candidates. Look how shameful
Okay,
it is.
so let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. You just put two options on the table. One is the
Yes,
people will protest. They will protest
yes.
until the government will kill and get tired. Then the other one is we should get international observers on the ground. Between
Yes.
the two, which one you think is most effective?
The international observer are more effective. You may
Mhm.
think that their present is not relevant that much, but I know what they can do. I know They follow diplomatic, but if they are present enough on ground to monitor every activity with regards to the election. In case of any rigging, they are sending their report out there. The UN or the AU or ECOWAS, the first person they're going to get to is the international observer. What happened? How was the election? What is your report? And from that, they can stand on the ground and tell we are, you need to step down. You did not win the election.
Well,
You must leave.
not in,
And after they
not
gave
anywhere.
that,
Yeah, but
mhm,
according to my experience, not in any country in recent years, in my lifetime, I have seen
mhm,
international community ask the president to step down, and he will step down easily. Forget about Chancellor situation. Chancellor situation is a
mhm,
big political thing. Big hands are
mhm,
involved. But where
mhm,
like a country like Liberia, where the voters go to vote, and then there are voters or there are votes that are rigged or voting irregularities, and then the international community will kind of tell the president elect or the incumbent that was re-elected to step down. I've not
mhm.
seen it in recent time anywhere in the world, and I don't think that will work. The people will
Yeah,
have to
then
stand up.
the peaceful protests will work. Then the people will rise up. That's the thing. Power belongs to the people, for the people are the one that elect these people, and this is why you see the uprising now. When the international community talk, they get tired. They play their role undercover with the people and say, "Rise up." No one man is powerful more than the people. The same people are the ones who are the soldiers, the police, the EPS, and so and so. So when there is an uprising, all of those people who wear uniform will take up that uniform and wear their plain clothes to demonstrate and protest. That's just it.
Okay, let's look at the finally. That's the last thing we touch. The
Mhm.
presidential, the ministerial retreat, the cabinet retreat
That's
in
nonsense. I don't care
Nimba.
about it. So I don't listen to
Yeah,
it. I don't want to know
uh,
what
we,
is
we,
in it,
we,
what they
we learned that
discuss.
even the janitors are attending that retreat,
Oh wow. Mhm.
and the president restricted every ministry or every minister to 5 minutes only to allocate that report. I don't know how much can somebody do in 5 minutes time. Even when I was a student, uh, to do 5 minute presentation, it takes a lot of editing. It takes a lot of thinking, where you have to compact your entire idea into one
Hmm.
or two sentences. Yeah. So I don't know how a whole ministry can give will be able to give a comprehensive report in in two
One
minutes
minute,
by in 5 minutes by the
2 minutes.
mandate of the president. Because if a minister is going to give
Hmm.
a 5 minutes report, comprehensive report, that means that minister has already, done his editing, prioritize the top topics that he need to present in his presentation and whatever. But here, probably the minister has prepared 30, 45 minutes, script that he has to present, and then the president all of a sudden during the course of the meeting gives that money that he have only 5 minutes. So to go and condense that 45 minutes into 5 minutes, it will take a lot of
Hmm.
omissions, and some important information might be lost along the line. And I don't think the purpose of the report itself, or any report by that nature, will be met. Because, like I said, even as a student, it was difficult for me to give 5 minute presentation, giving the topic under discussion. So if my teacher will give a whole
Mhm.
lecture, and then he wants me to
Hmm.
condense it into 5 minutes presentation, it was tough, but we have to do as students. And you find out that you will not even get the required mark. Because why? While the teacher is thinking, is that what you will be thinking. So I think
Yeah.
the ministers will be under pressure to make some reports that might not even be useful in an already crumbling economy. I
Crumbling
think, I
economy.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think these are necessary steps to take. But so that was it for the ministerial retreat or the cabinet retreat. I guess it's over. That was over the weekend. But then again, Sunday, I love that. Sorry. I was still hanging
I,
over from the party in Germany. Not
I
from drinking
know,
over
right?
from yeah, no, yeah, but not from any social activity that I had to drive
Mm-hmm.
from Hanover to my place for 19 hours and I
Wow.
left in the night all of Saturday night. I didn't sleep and last night I slept. I went to work yesterday. I slept last night a little bit. So I say transitioning. But
Yeah.
the final thing there were these wars and guess what? I didn't read
Mm-hmm.
any of it, but there was this trading of words between Darius Dillon and Wedegani
Man,
and
dear, I've been
my
enjoying that jokes.
oh seriously, did you read some of
I'm
that?
telling you, I haven't been so much into it, but I've been seeing pieces
Yeah,
of
I
jazz
heard it.
going.
I
Yeah,
heard I saw the scorecard. Somebody was scoring as 9 to 10 for Eugene Namwe. So Darrow needed 1 point to catch up. I know whether he caught up.
that is to tell you how less busy these ministers are. This is a minister who is occupying a very important position, maritime for that matter, and he's supposed to be at a retreat that you just said is very important. Even the janitors were there, and he's on Facebook, you know, going back and forth with some disgraceful remarks here and there. That's why I say we are government is a mess. It's a total mess. And according to him, he said he's the major foot soldier of Georgia. Could you imagine that? And he is a major foot soldier of Georgia because he come on Facebook and attack people and insult them. And yeah, people do not have the right to say anything on Facebook against their government. Well, that's really nonsense. Where
Well,
you have a
you
serious
know, I will,
crisis in the country, a
I will tell you
serious
something.
crisis.
I'll tell you something, Andre. Our time is almost about over in the next 5 minutes, but I will tell you something. When
Mm-hmm.
you when you misplace people in positions,
Yeah.
it can have adverse effect. Eugene
Mm-hmm.
Namwe has a background in journalism. Eugene Namwe and I worked for the same media empire for years. Eugene Namwe
Mm-hmm.
has a very good journalistic background. So Eugene should have
Mm-hmm.
served better at the information ministry. But disappointingly for me, very, very disappointingly, he didn't perform well at the Ministry of
Mm-hmm.
Information.
Yeah.
That I would have expected a Eugene Namwe that I know that I work with. The same thing
Mm-hmm.
with other unstable Serena Seafords. All work together for years. They know me, I know them well. Okay. So I was personally disappointed that Eugene Namwe, did what he did at the Ministry of Information, and then he was sent to Maritime. And let me tell you something about the Maritime. The Maritime is not just any
Yeah.
government
I know.
agency or
I know.
institution that you can send
Mm-hmm.
anybody. The maritime
Yeah.
institution is a professional area. The maritime
Professional,
institution,
yeah.
you have to have somebody with maritime background, somebody who has been in
Yes.
the maritime world. Like, let me tell you one thing:
Mm-hmm.
what we do in Liberia, we're sitting down on gold mines, but we don't
Yes.
know the value. It's like sitting,
Mm-hmm.
you pay your house over this gold creek, and you sleeping on gold and diamond while
You
you
don't
going
know.
hungry. You see,
Yeah.
the maritime program in Liberia, what we're getting is just chicken change. And we are so happy, we are so complacent. Liberia should be
Complacent. That's
running
the
its
word.
own maritime
That
program.
is the word.
Liberia should
Yeah.
be running its own maritime program. Let me tell you one thing. That maritime program
Mm-hmm.
that we're talking about, is one old retired US Army guy who established that thing. Okay, way in the
Hmm.
1940s. And that guy had been running that thing over and over, over and over, and it's become a generational property. And then Liberia just sit there and receive crumbs from what the people earn from the ships that are registered under our flags, and then we are happy. Oh, Maritime get
I don't
money.
know our
We are not getting
flex.
even
Yeah.
half. We are not getting even half of what we get from the maritime program. If Liberia could run, take over
Mm-hmm.
what we call LESCA, probably change the name to any other thing, or retain the name LESCA, Liberia will be rich. Actually, let me give you a good example. It's like I mean, you come from a flat background. No. I'm not looking down on you guys, but you guys are business people. Like Jalo Bay
Yeah.
is sharp. Okay,
Fuller shop,
Jalo
yeah.
get a shot. Then he say, yeah, a fuller sharp. Everything well full. Ain't nowhere program. He say. Then he say, Peter can run my fuller shop. When you run my fuller shop, you give me anything you want. Give me. I'll bring to the maritime industry in
Wow.
Liberia. So,
Then
all
that
this shift
means
running.
Jalo value money again.
Jalo value my money. Today I can go to Jalo and say, my man, Jalo was rough. Nobody bought breast, but at least I can get $5 today. Jalo say, okay, thank you, I'm happy. They want plenty. All Liberia doing. Let me tell
Wow.
you, during early time, I was in school in England, 2008.
Yeah.
My school in England, Southampton Solent University, we took a visit to the maritime. They want to introduce all of us that are in the maritime school for the first year. They want to introduce us to several
Also,
universities in London.
you have an educational background in maritime, eh?
Oh yeah, I did. My bachelor is in ship and port management. My master's is in international maritime studies and logistics. So if you look in London Central, you see one building that looks like egg. They tap around like this. Under that tall building, there's a big place there, Clark. Okay, that insurance company, all kind of thing. Then they got the maritime office around there. We went there. All the other countries. I still remember this little boy from the Bahamas. We used to call each other brother. He said, brother, I'm going to our maritime session. You're going to the maritime commissioner for them, for his country to talk. So I went to look for the Liberian desk. I asked the receptionist. They showed me one table. I'm telling you, to anything I want in life. One table. I say, no, not one piece of paper or tell on that table. Blank table. No name like Liberia, nothing. Blank table. They show it. They say, like the man from Liberia is supposed to be there. I went to the play. I said, 1 year, say now, 1 table, with nothing.
Wow.
2 days, we visited our place 2 days. I can't find, I'm looking for the Liberian representative to the IMO. The IMO that we're supposed to be represented on and well respected as the second largest ship registry in the world. We are next to Panama.
Wow.
Okay.
Second largest.
I was shy. And this little boy came from their office. The brother, the boy from Parliament, the boy brought a whole lot of brochures, thing that they are represented to the IMO giving. Here is Liberia. We can't find no man. Well, you can't blame the man. Probably they are not being paying the guy, so the man don't go to office. Can you imagine?
Because the head of maritime in Liberia collect everything for themselves and enrich themselves. So there's nothing working at all. And that's how Bernard Ayure, who is portraying himself to be, I don't know, who even brought him in the political space. That's how he got his wealth. And then used that the same money and brought arms into the country and kill our innocent people.
And can you imagine? Can you imagine?
And they call themselves billionaire around here.
Yeah, can you imagine that the maritime
there's
world?
There's always an end to everything.
The maritime world is like the medical field or the medical profession. There are new discoveries every day, new things happening. They're discovering new medicine every day. So doctors will have to keep themselves updated. Now, you got Oyuji Nami, who is a journalist. You got background in journalism. I don't know what else he studied. Then you take and send to maritime. Of course, it's like an appointed position. But before you appoint me to go in the medical field, I must know something. I got journalistic background. Then my professional area is maritime. Then you take me and send me to health ministry or Navy to go. I will not understand anything. So you send a Eugene Namwe to maritime. Yeah, Eugene is smart, but he will not be there to receive the money. He will not know the in and out. Okay.
But we need a puppet that when they collect the money from out, he will give it to him. That's just it.
Yeah. Let's forget about the we are as individual factor. The country Liberia as a whole, we have been playing lazy in our own maritime sector.
We are insincere. We don't love our country. There's no patriotic Liberian who will say, let's do the right thing. This is how it should be done. That's why I see
How difficult is it to go to Liska and say, no, You have run this program for over 60, 70 years. It's time for us to have it ourselves and take over. Panama, what does Panama have? Nothing. The Panama Canal, okay, is what they live on. And then they register these ships. And I'll tell you something, you are not in that profession, but let me just give you a little professional gist. The reason why Liberia, Norway got ships that are registered on a Liberian flag. Norway
I did logistics here. I did logistics here.
See,
yeah.
So why would Norwegian people take that ship and go register it on a country like Liberia? Because what? Our requirements for registration are very simple. All we need is register your ship under us. Your ship carry our flags. You provide a map. What we even supposed to be entitled to under that program, we're not. Every ship that is registered according to the IMO law convention, okay. Every ship that is registered under your country flag, that country must provide certain percentage of the manpower on that particular ship. When I was in school, my classmates, some of them were Indians, some Chinese, and this boy. You know, the Indian boy, they used to joke me. They say, my man, you have Liberian Indians and Liberian Chinese. I said, what do you mean? He said, but the boys are on our ship. They carry your Liberian flag. I mean, your Liberian passport. Can you imagine? That's position for Liberians. Liberians should produce seamen. Okay? But I don't know how many of us Liberians are represented on the ships. We got over 1,000, almost 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 ships.
So we got majority of our youth cannot have a job. And these are some of the jobs that some of them need to be doing, especially for those who come from the university very fresh. You just send them to these things to do 6 months part-time and get a little bit of cash before you can send them to go and do program and other scholarship or some. That's job experience right there. That's job experience.
And this law I'm telling you is a conventional law. It's created by convention. Okay, so it's created by statute. So Liberia can ask, we don't have an opportunity. Liberia does not need to train these people herself. The ships that are registered in your country need to train them. Recruit the seamen from your country and train them and employ them. But how many of our people are enjoying that? We don't know. Because you got one Peter they grab and kill the maritime. So the man he doesn't know anything. He cannot go to enforce these laws.
Our people are suffering where the opportunity is there. Look at our people in the rural areas, our young boys, our young girls, they cannot have a job. They don't have no means of surviving. And you have this opportunity. This is why we need a good government. What? We need a good government. This election that is coming is the survival of Liberia. If we miss this, Linford, we are done. We are done. We must get this.
I'm sorry. Right. Our country, we need to cross over this bridge that is blocking us. This barricade, we got to break it down and move forward, or else we'll suffer. Look, I tell you something. I look at we got resources, then we got opportunity. Okay, we got resources, we got opportunity. Liberia, small country. Our young people not should be in the street, hold their dream, muya. All those ships that I was saying, all those ships that are registered on us, put 10 Liberians on each. Put 10 Liberians on each of those ships.
Yeah, they start to support their people back home. Yes, they start to support their people back home. People start to live good life.
If we go into that kind of program, before we look, we'll stay on Brussels and start asking, Mama, you want to go where? We'll be over who want where? You can.
Yes,
but we're not doing it. Yes. How many people are in Liberia? 4.5 million people. Eh? We create all these. If you got 2,000 or 3,000 ships register, I gotta go get the information. I gotta do my research because
we need to have a special discussion on that, Lynn. For this is a very important topic. We need to have a special discussion on that, and we need to start touching all of these ministries in Liberia who have their experience. I have an experience in the background of airlines, and I know much about airlines when it comes to these airlines, the amount of hours that they stay on ground, how much do they pay, and what should be done, what are some of the benefits that Liberia can have, and what are some of the things that could happen, all of these. And those that are in agriculture, I have a little bit of experience in agriculture area, and we can have other people that will come out and we talk about these things so our people can know. Our people, yeah, that is our
Yeah,
right. Our right
you
have
are
been
right.
taken
I
from
will.
us.
This profession I know about. I mean, there are many people, many librarians that have gone into it. Some of them I don't know, but at least
Mhm.
I know 3 people or 2 people, including myself, and I know altogether about 5. Lele
Yeah.
Herbert, Christian Herbert was one of those,
Mhm.
and we got Cyrus Gray. We got one is a Massa or Jebe. Then we got one other guy
Hmm.
that I met in Sweden. They were at the Maritime University when I went to Sweden the first time. And then
Wow.
so at least I know Cyrus Gray. I can locate Cyrus Gray. Sarah was with us on the show one time this year. So Cyrus and Moluba Yogo, those are people who are in the same profession with me. So I think what we'll do is I take your recommendation. I'm going to get to one of those guys, either Cyrus or Moluba, and we can do a special discussion on this. You see, because
Boba
and
Younger,
so
yeah.
that
Boba Younger, I
yeah, so that
remember.
we
He
try
was
to
he was a he was a guy that we are asked to leave, right? After he took
yeah, I
over.
think so.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
mhm. So what we'll do, I think we'll have to do. I'll take a recommendation. We need to do special discussion on some of these things, especially areas where
Mm,
we think are important because the maritime sector of Liberia is very important. We need to highlight that because the government might appoint people based on
mhm.
friendship and whatever because they don't know, and then through that we lose a lot of resources or income. You see
Yeah.
that they put there are some countries in the world that are completely landlocked. They don't have water. They don't have any port.
Mm,
Okay, we are
mm.
blessed. We got seaport. We got airport. We got land border. So there are 3 major income generating areas. Then beside that we got
Yes.
the resources. So why are we
Mhm.
poor? Why I just don't understand.
Because we are
Maybe
stupid. We are
yeah,
just stupid. We just allow
seriously.
people to and we are and complacent. That is the thing. We feel satisfied with less, whereas we
Seriously.
deserve more. We
Yeah, that's
deserve
exactly what I
more.
was saying. That's
Yes,
exactly
we
what I was
deserve
saying.
more, but we
Why
feel
can
satisfied
Liberia
with less.
Why can't Liberia take over the maritime program from Liska? And you'll see,
Liska,
let me
yeah.
tell you, the amount of money we'll generate in 6 months, it will be equivalent to what we get in 2 years.
And because of the corruption, maybe if they take over Liska, they do not know how to run a budget. The Liberian men quick to run things down because they want to live more over. Just
Hmm.
like the same way with where they local. These guys used to any traveling, they traveling business class, even the least person in business class. But how can you? Yeah, I'm like, I used many days I used to say, what's wrong with these people? Business class, this other
You
one,
know, you
that
know,
other one, like, what's going on with you people?
every time I say this, people will laugh. Liberia's problem is like old car. When you fix the engine, the tire will burst. When you fix the tire, something else will spoil. So you
Something
see,
else will come
Liberia
down.
problem we can just discuss it through. Look at the local thing. Yeah? Some countries, Norway,
Hmm.
we ain't get nothing here, besides fish and wow, oil.
Wow.
This was the poorest country in Europe. That's why all of them moved North America to the border of Canada, send a cool place. So Utah, Salt Lake City, and Washington State, Minnesota, that's also Norwegian, follow there. So
Yeah.
because they ran away from the country, the poverty, they were walking. The people were walking for here to other countries just to be able to live and go America. Now today they are
Wow.
rich because of what? When they discover the oil. Yeah,
Hmm.
Liberia we discover oil. What we did, we turn around, we sold all the oil to different people in 1 minute. Then we sit
You
down.
imagine.
What kind of people on earth can do that kind of thing?
It's sad, though. It's sad.
Yeah.
But we need a good government. Just come out on good government. If we have a new government, all of these concessions can be overturned again. We can have a new look at it and we put everything in the right direction. You who want to accept it, you accept it. You don't want to accept it, you leave. That's our country. We cannot
Mhm.
continue to live in corruption and be living with those mean and greedy politicians who keep selling our country. So Liberia need to get it right this time around, come 2023. And this is why you and myself, we are always on the show talking about these things, trying to reach out to our people as much as possible. Yeah, get on the ground and let the work start. Yeah, wherever way you can support, you support, whether by your voice or by financial support or by going on the ground and talking to your people in your local vernacular and telling them what's the importance of this election, how we need to change the country for better. We can continue allowing them to suffer. Yeah, when you living on a very rich country and only one group of people just enjoying the wealth, while the majority suffer in poverty. No good education, no better health care, no electricity, no security, nothing, no safe drinking water. Absolutely, Liberia has nothing. No roads. Nothing this government can boast of, nothing the past government can boast of. It has always been a mess and mess and mess. Now our eyes are open. We need to make a difference. We cannot fail our generation.
Thank you, Antrick. There is a song that I listened to, I think once or twice, and part of that song, I pick a few words. It says that every generation will always have to blame the past generation. I don't know if I'm paraphrasing it right, but it says
Mhm,
every generation will blame the past generation. So,
mhm,
sometimes we say, "Oh, why our father and why our forefather, why the past government, why the people who are in power didn't do this." The same way, people who come in after all will judge us, and then people will continue to judge each other. So, what we need to do is to do the right thing so that when our generation succeeds us, they
mhm.
can say this is what our parents did. So on that note, I'd like to say thank you very much, Andrew, for tonight. I mean,
Yes.
you really came the right time to to help me, make the show the way it should be. I understand the tight schedule also with Paul this evening, but by next week we're going to be here, and this is how we let you leave you. We hope
Yeah.
that Andrew will also have the opportunity to be here next week, and together we can have a good show. And so, Andrew, have a
Yeah.
nice day.
Thanks, Linford. Thanks for your time, and thanks to the entire ANC Europe. You guys are amazing. You did a very good job, excellent, and thanks to our standard bearer for gracing the occasion. And yeah, we move. It's time to do the work. 2023 is right around the corner, so yeah, we need to take our country back and put it on the right track. We can't continue to do the same thing and expect the same result or different results. So, according to Mr. Cummings, power must change hands.
Thank you.
Okay.